pick here for FlyQuest.
Are they going to move it to Seraphine mid? That's the question. Because this obviously is a champion that you can flex around, and it is. So it's Seraphine mid for quad, so they keep the option open here.
The best team in the world.
I mean, this is such a great opportunity for FlyQuest to try to make something.
Canyon ready to start taking aggro here a little bit as the equalizer comes down. Inspired, already gonna lose half HP. Chovy jumps in, not gonna find the charm. Immediately engaged, coming up from Bustio. First blood over to FlyQuest, and Chovy is down. Seraphine ulti roars over the top, and Gen.G has lost 2 men. FlyQuest just killed 3 of them. And
the Dragon. An ulti will come through into mid.
Quad's in a little bit of trouble here as Lehens jumps in. Canyon over the wall wants to try to join up, but it ain't gonna matter. Lehens is already down, and a beautiful move from Inspired, using the ulti to knock the enemy Skarner back. Now Whipplo's ready to make a grand entrance, and he's grabbing a 5th kill of the game for FlyQuest. Gen.G.
You turn the nameplates off, they're struggling right now.
Well, Busio's coming in for the wraparound. They want to go after Chovy. They don't find what they're looking for, and FlyQuest might have got a little over-eager. The tier 1 turret still standing as Keen drops the equalizer. Busio's got to be careful. Amasu's about to die. He flashes away as Keen wants to chase him down. FlyQuest on the retreat. They nearly toss it away. But
Observers showcase the amount of darkness that Gen.G see. Lehen's going to be the one to face check.
Yeah, but Leona walks forward. Busio jumps over the wall with a combo as FlyQuest looks to put some DPS into Leona, but it ain't going to be enough. A lot of damage back into Inspired. Crescent sweep to barely stay alive.
Oh,
and
no!
is down. Whippo over the wall goes in for a massive multi-taunt, and Keen's thrown up into the air. Inspired escapes the death rocket, but now they're dragging FlyQuest back. Whippo's first to die as Pace continues firing, and Chovy wants another. Canyon steers back away as FlyQuest get a 2-for-1. Coming in here for FlyQuest side. Let's see if they really want to make a move.
Whippo's behind them. Whippo's behind them.
Using the charm, trying to stuff the engage here. Paze wants to get away. Seraphine ulti flying over the top. Whippo's trying his way into Paze, but the Jinx barely gets away. FlyQuest continuing forward, but a nice equalizer from Keen tries to stop him. Canyon shot to pieces, and Whippo wants more. FlyQuest with a 1-for-0, but that Keen on the back side of the wall, but immediately Busio's going in to try to stop him. FlyQuest making their move. Whippo's into the back line. They found Paze, but there's no follow-up. Busio's already dead, and Whippo goes to make their way into the bot side river. They're gonna go ahead and start that Drake up. It's already down to half HP. Canyon's getting zoned out. Equalizer into the back line as Quad sidesteps away from the solar flare. Dragon's still the focus coming out from FlyQuest. The troll is secured, and now they're turning it right back to the Lehens, and Canyon. The Leona tries to flash away, but it ain't gonna work. Masu chases him down. Bustio trying to keep going forward with Whippo as they lock up the carries. They beat down Paze, and Gen.G falls. Chovy trying to hold the line, trying to buy time, but it costs a hell of a lot, and FlyQuest are barreling towards the base.
Gen.G are crumbling under its weight.
Solo laners versus FlyQuest. Keen and Chovy trying to hold on, but another Seraphine ulti flies out, and Chovy drops dead. Keen pushes forward and finally claims Busio, but it's only a 1-for-1. Game number 1 is about to end as FlyQuest lead the series.
Doubters be damned. FlyQuest are here to play.
Wow! What a game!
Jumped in non-stop by the Orianna. This is going to make Canyon's job harder because he's not going to have mid lane prio. You have very little wave clear on the Castan as well, but what they do have in spades is side lane pressure. 1-3-1 is going to be so dominant for Gen.G. If we
FlyQuest, your weakness has been the early game. We don't think you can punish well enough. We're
constantly as Canyon is going to make this so difficult. They're going to go for the dive.
3v2 dive from Gen.G. Lehen's going to lead the way. Whippo trying to stay alive. He's barely hanging on as he flashes out. Paige trying to chase him down. It's first blood back over to the Ash. Busio still wants to get one back, but he doesn't have the damage. The Riptide slows him down.
Here we go.
Busio wants to go for the dive. This will be pretty important here for FlyQuest. Knock up onto Chovy. Not enough damage to take him down, and now Busio's Cougar food. Canyon shows up for a punish, and Gen.G are looking scary in the first 5 minutes.
Talking about and gets that kill there, then is there on the counter gank, and now Whippo getting pushed out.
Oh, Whippo went back for the Call of the Meek. Pays just chasing him down, shot after shot after shot. As Chovy here in mid lane might just find himself on the receiving end of a snowball, but considering he's level 7, he can still buffer through that knockoff. But nice shockwave coming out from Quad. Surely they get this kill. No way, Chovy! As Canyon is now looking to repeat his success here on these Nidalee ganks. Keen flashing forward for the stun with a counter-strike. Needs a little bit more damage to kill off Whippo. But the Croc survives. Canyon.
As much as people talk about Cassidy as his late game beast, we'll see if Whippo can get out of this.
Lehens with the dredge line. Whippo in trouble. Arrow from downtown. The Renekton's still in danger, trying to slice and dice his way out of trouble. But Canyon's got the kill secured. Gen.G claim 1, but a teleport's ready to try to get something in response. Quad shows up, trying to put the damage into Pays, but he flashes back over the wall to get away. And the shockwave is an airball. Nothing else for FlyQuest yet, as Lehens is now the target, and Inspired cuts off his escape. FlyQuest.
Critically, the arrow misses. He is going to be able to survive as a result. If we're going to see Inspired looking mid.
Finds a knock-up onto Pays, but Canyon's here to peel for his AD carry. Redemption summoned up. Inspired just shot to pieces. Gen.G grabbing 1 kill already, and Canyon ain't going to drop. Pays finding the DPS in this one, as Keen's ready to jump in to make it 3. A triple kill. At all, Busio and Quad without the damage to really threaten this guy. The arrow flies in from all the way up in the river, and now it's Busio under pressure. Shockwave hits both Gen.G players, but what's it gonna matter? They get the kill on the support, and they force the flash out of Quad as well. Gen.G, they made some overeager plays in game 1, but here in game 2, they are playing to their limits, and they are crushing FlyQuest.
I mean, they just have so much gold at this point, and the problem with the composition is it's not matching up well to what Gen.G have. They're losing in the isolated 1v1s. They don't have the damage to get the hook. Connects.
Lehens connects onto the turret, and it sets up Pays to just keep firing. Unstoppable. 5-0-2 here for the Ash as Canyon throws the spear back over the wall. Whippo's coming in on the flank, looking to lock up Pays, who pops the cleanse, getting away from the Croc, trying to kite it out, but Whippo takes him down. 1 for 1 though, as Inspired is also going to drop with Lehens falling. You can see an ultimate 2-for-1 trade for FlyQuest side.
So you're always going to get split up on the sides. Gen.G can always force a skirmish, and in every skirmish scenario, FlyQuest always lose.
Exactly. I mean, it's so tough. If you can't win 5v5 and you can't win sides, you can't win League of Legends.
Well, they're going for the 3v1 play against Keen, but he's buying enough time. Pays arrow isn't going to hit the target. Keen is down. FlyQuest commit.
After game 1, they are absolutely dominating. Masu slightly oversteps, and Chovy sees an angle.
Chovy not afraid to continue going forward. Inspired the target down to about 1/4 HP. Heals up a little bit with the chomp. Redemption keeping him alive. Busio fires back going in with the quickness, but Chovy's so tanky. Gen.G's so far ahead. Whippo's gonna be your target here next as the shockwave doesn't do much. Pays getting the kill on Whippo. Gen.G just cutting them down like flies. Another triple for Pays as Quad is the only one left standing. Gen.G 4-for-0. Baron's coming up next.
And Gen.G smothered the last flames of hope here for FlyQuest. Quad's gonna go down as well, you have to think. No.
Keen ultimately dies to the turret. He nearly killed the bottom lane, the next target. Keen just set it up perfectly with the timing on the wave, and now Whippo will get locked up and shot down. Sterix will not keep him alive long enough, and Gen.G will not be stopped. Busio drops next, and the remaining 3 FlyQuest players fall back to the last bastion of the Nexus turrets, but Pays will not stop. He continues leading the charge, and Chovy's dominating. Another dredge line misses, but it won't matter. Quad and Masu trying to stay alive, but a step outside of the fountain steps is certain death. Gen.G clear the Nexus turrets. FlyQuest head back into their base. It's a tied series. Gen.G take game 2.
A great punch back in game 2 here from Gen.G. Creative draft, really utilizing some of the early game strengths here with that Nidalee. Canyon was everywhere it felt like he needed to be. Potentially Skarner, maybe situationally the Urgot. But I think FlyQuest have a really strong draft. I think they are very powerful in the 5v5. The Braum, though, great answer against the double AD carry. And even Urgot that kind of acts almost like a pseudo AD carry in some ways, taking the meta by storm. But I have not seen this particular champion combo.
Yeah, ever since the ranged nerfs to fleet footwork. Masu and Busio. They got to play this one right. Canyon going in. They already popped the heal at the very start from Gen.G. Busio taking a ton of damage here. Canyon's getting locked up. Lahenz eats another turret shot as Bwipo goes forward. Canyon's still trying to get away. The Urgot not going to get a kill on anybody as now Bwipo's in danger. Pace shifts forward. Busio and Masu still fighting, still firing. Double knockup. First blood over to Masu. Double kill over to Masu. FlyQuest, play it better.
What a counter engage there from
The play, Chovy has the power, but they dive bot.
Bottom lane, Pays at 200 HP. Masu has to get rid of the turret aggro now as Pays is still fighting, but it ain't gonna matter. Cathian Rain buries Pays underneath the tier 1 turret, and FlyQuest claim a 3rd kill for their marksman.
A crucial set of sequences off. They didn't look at Pays' names, they just saw an Ezreal that should have died.
Bwipo in trouble as Canyon trying to make his presence known up here on the top side. Bwipo's locked up, beat down. Canyon came down to apply enough pressure to force Bwipo to step back so that Keen is able to secure the turret. But now it's Keen under pressure. FlyQuest going in for the fight. Bwipo will lead the charge as Inspired on the approach right next to Busio. Keen doing a good job kiting these guys out for now, but his goal is only to buy time. There is no escape here for the Crocodile, and Bwipo moving in, still moving towards this guy, slows him down with a grenade, and now trying to get that extra little bit of space. Disdain with the flash! Bwipo finds Chovy, but where's the rest of the damage? Busio wants to go in, but he will not get his man. Inspired still hanging around here. Farsight trinket from Gen.G to stop the FlyQuest jungler. Canyon showing up, and another TP is coming in from Gen.G. Inspired is way too far forward, and surely he dies. Gen.G with a beautiful punch back. Compared to Chovy, who is at the mark, down to the bottom lane. Chovy going in with the stolen lightning crash. Quad with a sidestep away from multiple ultis as Busio counterattacks with the quickness, but Gen.G still got more men. Inspired wants to go in and find some sort of an angle here for the ulti. He only gets Canyon. Another knockup, but the Gen.G jungler's way too tanky. Inspired's gonna die again if he's not careful as Keen kills Bwipo down in the corner. Lahenz still retreating. He's got the unbreakable, but how breakable is he? Masu goes on a rampage, and Chovy keeps running. Canyon regenerating with the Warmogs now, and that could be the difference. FlyQuest now feels the pressure.
And fraud and harassed back here as we'll watch this fight one more time.
So we look back at the 1v1. Bwipo ended up getting outplayed, able to get the knock back, but it's kind of just two beefcakes slapping up against each other. And
on Bwipo, if he goes forward, he's probably dead.
Yeah, Bwipo's in some danger here, flashing out, but Keen's ready to flash follow. Bwipo getting stunned up, chain CC'd by Canyon there with a Glacial Prison. Bwipo's buying a lot of time, but it ain't enough. When FlyQuest got that double kill in the bot lane,
Canyon's behind him.
Canyon coming in, Gen.G making their move. Inspired's gonna be the target here, but he tries to force the enemy front line back. The Skarner's locked up in the front, he's gonna get beat down. The Sterix ain't gonna matter yet again, he drags two back. Into the back line goes Chovy. Inspired flashing away to barely stay alive, but now Bwipo's gonna be in danger as well. The first kill is going over to the stolen ulti, and Chovy puts Bwipo in the grinder. Now Pay's gotta be careful. There goes your Void Seeker. Pay's still getting away for now. Masu trying to fire a few more of these off. Quad and the rest of FlyQuest trying to get at least a little bit of mid lane pressure here. They're down a man. They got to be careful as they continue retreating. Inspired went back to the base to heal, but now Masu's got to be careful. There's your use of that cleanse from the Mikhails as again Gen.G continue the chase, but Masu's unstoppable. Lahenz went in too far. Sept shoots out of the wall, and Key's got to be careful. So much pressure, but it's not enough. Masu cuts them down. Oh, ye of little faith. Believe in Masu and the AD carry. Chovy still trying to escape. He dashes back over the wall. Chovy, he damages him with the grenade over the wall. Chovy's death is going to be certain. It is going to be delayed. And
that opportunity to get his breath ready as we build closer to that ever-important fight. They both take placement in the mid-wave. They contest, and here we go.
With the flash disdain, Canyon's gonna be your target here with the front, but a nice counter-attack coming out from Chovy. Beautiful stolen Skarner ulti. Isn't enough. Masu's low. Killer Instinct to give him the shield to try to stay alive as Keen dives into the back line, and Bwipo's already gonna be killed. Top for top. 1 for 1. Masu, legendary, but FlyQuest, they've got to be careful about this one as they continue DPS here with the Baron. Canyon and King gonna step up. Masu's already under pressure, and immediately Busio is about to die. Keen's gonna get bursted into the front line on the other side, and Masu stays alive. He's still firing, still fighting. Quad pushes forward, goes to the killing spree. 4 versus versus 3, but Pays fights back. A beautiful shutdown over the Ezreal as Bwipo jumps into the disdain. Pays goes into the stratosphere, and Matsu goes legendary. FlyQuest just killed everybody but Canyon.
FlyQuest can just two-man this while the rest of them look to block out Gen.G from responding.
Matsu does a ton of damage to this objective all by his lonesome. Canyon would lead the charge for Gen.G. Chovy has lost a good chunk of HP here in the approach. The FlyQuest squad just trying to buy a little bit of time to secure the Baron, but Bwipo might die. Quad going in for the lightning crash. Gen.G are dying. FlyQuest have already killed everybody. FlyQuest will push Gen.G to the absolute limit. They will take a 2-1 lead.
It's Quad with the Quadra. FlyQuest march on the Nexus.
The first Nexus turret, the second Nexus turret, the Nexus itself will all fall to pieces. FlyQuest are one game away from semifinals.
Where were you when FlyQuest pushed Gen.G to... You look towards the picks here for Gen.G. Really the only setup that they have for the Nidalee Spear is the Maokai, right? Which makes you believe they're going to be targeting down that bot lane. It is Rakan Ezreal, very weak early 2v2 here that has been drafted for FlyQuest. Not one. I think there's absolutely none. And
again, though, you see Pays matching into this Renekton, and he's having a bit of a rough time. But ultimately, he's still in a fine position, has the level advantage, hasn't died early.
Oh, Keen. Nice use there of the knockback. Matsu going to be forced to use that first summoner spell to try to get away. Keen's going in for the 1v2. He knocks him back. He knocks him down. The Cassante of his current place in the game as Inspired showing up here after Chovy. Arctic Assault flash to lock up the Gen.G mid. And the World Finals, never the World title. And now being this close, we'll see if they can bring it to a game 5 against FlyQuest as Bwipo tries to flash away, going into dominance here in a 1v4. But surely Gen.G just get it done. Bwipo can't stay alive. Lehens, Quad with the threat with the shockwave, but now Gen.G coming right back in. Quad's gonna get locked up, has to flash away to try to survive. Canyon on the chase. Quad's about to die. 50 HP remaining, but an ice shield keeps him alive. Keen coming in with the all-out. Busio flashes back over the wall. FlyQuest somehow live, but Gen.G.
Shockwave, top lane.
Quad in trouble though. Inspired shows up to try to block it for him. Chovy flashing over, making the outplay to guarantee they get their man. But now Inspired and Busio are still looking to lock up the Gen.G mid. Masu's there for a little bit of extra damage. Chovy doing everything he can to kite it out, but it ain't gonna matter. Inspired secures the kill. Canyon with a flash away from the grand entrance from Busio.
Very large farm advantage.
Let's see here if Lehens can get away from this. Inspired and Quad chasing after the Maokai, who used the flash to buy a little bit of extra time, but now it means there should be no way for him to get away from this. Quad will keep on chasing for something like this dragon. Meanwhile, an arrow flies out. Keen going all out underneath the turret, but Bwipo's looking to outplay here with the dominance. It's a 3v1, but Bwipo gets away for now. Canyon, the backup, the spear connects. Bwipo with a flash away, and the TP's gonna be way too late. Quad goes in to find the shockwave, but a beautiful use of the stasis from Canyon. He stays alive. Gen.G maintain a 1-kill advantage as Quad and Busio have to retreat. The tier 1 turret is down, and Gen.G are holding the wrecking ball.
Usually shouldn't be possible, but they know how strong they are.
Yeah, you're talking about a full level lead in top. It's a 2-level lead in the jungle. Bwipo's dominance ain't gonna matter. An arrow through the heart. And they're committing a lot for a Cassante here. Bwipo and Inspired chasing after him. Keen still trying to get away. Gen.G bringing in a TP. Cassante still not even taking any meaningful damage at all. Continuing to push forward. Arrow doesn't hit the target, and Chovy's gonna flash back away. All out from Keen. Quad's under pressure, and Bwipo's about to die. FlyQuest chased too far. Gen.G are ready to punish, and they want even more. Beautiful engage from Kanan to keep on following it up. Quad barely trying to get away. He's got 200 HP remaining, and the Nidalee says no. It's nothing but a black and white screen.
Perhaps a Baron could be FlyQuest's way back in.
Bwipo looking for the flank on Pays. Dominus pop with the arrow to immediately try to stop the FlyQuest top laner. Sterix Gage to keep him alive. Keen's ready to keep on pushing forward here with the Pathmaker going in, looking for a little bit more damage onto Quad. Bwipo's gonna be dropped first. Quad's gonna go right with them. Bwipo and Quad, the solo laners down. A double kill for Chovy as Gen.G do not stop here. They keep chasing the remaining FlyQuest players with Keen leading the charge.
But it just doesn't do enough damage. Another Baron begun by Gen.G.
FlyQuest knows they can't afford to give this one away, but what else is even gonna happen? Chovy and Gen.G chasing after FlyQuest, killing Masu, burying Busio, and just making Inspired head home alone. And here we go again. FlyQuest still trying to stop it, but a TP behind him coming in from Keen. The Cassante that has run the whole game start to finish seals their fate. Canyon's unstoppable, and Quad is dead. Whippo and Inspired can't get anywhere close. Keen is a brick wall, and FlyQuest don't have any siege equipment. Inspired's trying to escape as Chovy jumps over the wall, but now FlyQuest is in an even rougher spot. Busio wants to make space for his team, but a third and Topo strike knocks back two. FlyQuest still trying to run, but Gen.G's stronger. Gen.G's faster. The DPS is out of control. He's got the quick blades. He's got the armor penetration on the Mortal Reminder, and he's got the rest of Gen.G beside him. FlyQuest going in for their final Hail Mary. True Shot Barrage over the wall. Lehen's tanking up as Chovy gets back away. Inspired down to 300 HP, and Whippo does nothing. Shockwave on 2 won't matter. Inspired's about to bleed out. Chovy's dominating, and Keen won't stop. Double kill, back over to Chovy. FlyQuest are gonna have to be ready for game 5, cause Gen.G are ready to clean this up. Masu and Inspired trying with everything they've got to defend the last 2 Nexus turrets, but Gen.G is far too powerful. Lehens and Keen making the space. FlyQuest trying to hold on, but it's not gonna work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Silver Scrapes!
The Canyon Nidalee is so good.
Wow.
He's so good. It's this int pick for so many people, and he just dominates on it this whole game. He had an early camp advantage.
You're supposed to think, hell yeah!
The Maokai gonna be the final lock-in for Lehens, going towards the bot side of the map. So much utility on the side of Gen.G. The Maokai ultimate, the root.
They're gonna burst you down in the long run.
All right, here we go again. Lehens and Pays versus Whippo, using the Haymaker early to try to nullify a lot of the upfront damage. Whippo exhausted now, flashing to try to get away. Canyon coming around from the side, expect the Impale here from the Skarner. Whippo with beautiful footwork to get away from the 3v1.
13 minutes in when we were called for the longest first blood at Worlds.
Well, they want Quad. It's going to be TPs coming in from both sides. Fate sealed, arrives, but he buffers back through the Impale with a soul unbound. Mom roars in. Quad is low, but he ain't dead yet. Keen's in trouble, but he turns it back around. First blood over to Chovy, and Gen.G get their moment.
An intense play that's not over yet.
Lehens trying to jump in now and get a little bit more. Busio, oh, he's so very close to death. It was near
18 and a half minutes into the game.
Back in the mid lane, no. This guy is set up to be the carry, but Inspired with the ult at the end of the wall. Immediately into the showstopper coming out from Whippo. Busio jumps in, and Chovy is down. Quad goes with the Fate Seal, looking for Canyon now as well, but he's gonna have to snap back here in just a moment. No, but look, they shot off the Scryer's Bloom. Okay, finally. Pay's gonna throw the Mega Inferno Bomb in there.
Can they finish?
They've got the Baron down to about 5,000. FlyQuest going from an insane Hail Mary right now. King going into the pit as now the teleport's gonna come out from Chovy. Whippo is already dead. Keen's looking to take Inspired out of the picture now too, but Keen's gonna die. Inspired also drops. 2 for 1, favoring Gen.G. FlyQuest went for the crazy play, and Gen.G are ready to punish. A double kill for Chovy. All of a sudden, you are staring down the barrel of terror. Over the wall though, go Inspired and Quad.
It's being procced, and now FlyQuest getting corralled a little bit here.
Yeah, Busio flashing over the wall, trying to make the play on Canyon, but he wasn't fast enough to get the headbutt the other way. Lehen's coming in, trying to help him, but Chovy's ready. Mom's already been summoned. Canyon's low, but he ain't gonna be killed off here just yet. And already Quad bites the dust. FlyQuest again overextending, looking for their way into the back line, but a double kill over to Chovy. Whippo's gonna die next. Gen.G are slaughtering them. A triple for the mid laner.
Masu gonna get caught out. He's gonna go down as well.
Surely there is no way out here for a Callista. They'll give the kill over to Keen this time. Busio coming around to try to help them. Inspired has Ghost on his Summoner Spellbook to try to join up. Busio now looking to reinforce the lines as well, but it looks like it's going to be so hard for Whippo to make his way into the fight as they have to try to save Busio now. Masu barely hanging on. Inspired back over the wall here with a Crow Storm, but it ain't going to be enough just yet. Masu can't even find any damage. Pay stays alive. Redemption for the heal. Chovy's dominating, and Masu burns. Keen gets the kill, and Whippo will just try to get away from Lehens and Pays. A double kill for Keen. FlyQuest is aced to win, and they will do just that. Whether it's 3 games, whether it's 5, it does not matter. Gen.G has a date with destiny and the semifinals.
When Gen.G got a lead